Did you know there are creatures making love on your forehead at this very moment, and that there are probably parasites inside your brain that control your thoughts and emotions? And what would you do if you discovered that your friends, your family, and everyone you knew has almost certainly fantasized about murdering you? Let's find out, shall we? In our video on the creepiest things happening to you right now. Starting at 3. Bugs are banging on your face. Every time you look in the mirror, you're watching an insect version of The Sims. Because there are thousands of tiny bugs banging each other, pooping and dying all over your face. But don't go rushing for the bathroom to scrub your mush, because this is perfectly normal. One species of mite which lives on your face is Demodex folliculorum. This little fella is an arthropod, meaning their closest relatives are ticks and spiders. So, yeah, you got spider relatives crawling all over your face, breasts, and genitals. Basically, anywhere with large pores and sebaceous glands. Nobody knows exactly how many mites the average person has, only that we all do. And it's also unclear what these mites do to us, and how they reproduce. We have seen a Demodex mite lay an egg once, but I bet it wasn't very tasty. You may draw a small comfort from the knowledge that the Demodex mites do not possess an anus, but they still poop. They just save up their waste until death, at which point it bursts right out of them. Despite this grotesque truth, these mites aren't harmful to the average person, but too many can make skin conditions like rosacea slightly worse. There's also an interesting link between Demodex mites and immune deficiencies such as AIDS and cancer, with higher number of mites found on those with lower immunity. Whatever these bugs are doing can't be too bad, since almost every mammal has them. And what's more is that by studying these little critters, we can learn things about the spread of human populations tens of thousands of years ago. So you should be grateful, because you got a little bit of history sat on your face. Which is what my old teacher, Mr. Bingham, used to say. At 2, you're being controlled. Ever wonder if your mind is being controlled by another being? Well, guess what? It just might be. You may already know that some parasites can change the behavior of their host dramatically, but if not, then here are a few examples to demonstrate what they're capable of. The horsehair worm is a particularly brutal customer, as these fellas alter the nervous system of a cricket, force it to drown itself, and then reproduce in the watery conditions which the worm requires. Another bizarre parasitic relationship is the one between castrator barnacles and crabs. And yes, they do exactly what their name suggests. If this barnacle infects a female crab, it forces her to take care of its larvae as if it were her own. But if the crab is male, it forces a sex change upon the crab, shrinking its gonads. But what has this got to do with humans? Well, the sinister truth is that behavior-altering parasites can infect people, and there are hundreds, possibly thousands of mind-controlling critters we are completely unaware of. A recently discovered algae virus has just been detected in 40% of human beings, which slows down your motor speed and visual processing. A more pleasant symptom comes from the friendly bacteria found in probiotic yogurt, which has been seen to boost mood, develop brain connections, and make mice less autistic. However, the most startling range of effects come from the Toxoplasma gondii parasite, which makes men more introverted, women extroverted, increases your likelihood of being in a car accident, and potentially causes schizophrenia, as well as making you develop a bizarre attraction to the smell of cat pee. But don't worry, because it's not likely it's spread by cats and has managed to infect 22 to 84% of the entire human population. is it? Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. And in at number 1, you're thinking about awful things. Imagine you're stood on a subway platform when the train pulls into the station. A little boy walks past, and for a brief moment you wonder what would happen if you punted him straight onto the tracks. Then you snap back to reality. Oop, here comes morality. Why did I think about doing such an awful thing? Is there something wrong with me? Am I secretly psychotic? Is this what it feels like to be Dennis Reynolds? These intrusive thoughts, while disturbing, are a normal, everyday occurrence, and they happen to everyone. Right now, you might be looking at a plug socket and thinking, "Ooh, I could fit my fingers in there." Your dog might tinker past you with a shoe in its mouth, and you'll start to picture what would happen if you snapped his spine. These mental images can happen at any time and at any place, from mothers thinking about dropping their baby down the stairs, through to soldiers picturing the consequences of popping their CO in the back of the head. But these images do not represent your conscious desires. They are merely a symptom of your overactive imagination. You are thinking about the most inappropriate event at any given situation, and it is your brain's way of preventing you from taking this course of action. By suppressing these thoughts, you could be at risk of making them occur more vividly, as was proven by a Harvard experiment where subjects were told not to think about a white bear. The human mind wants to continuously make sure you are sticking to a task, and the only way to do so is to keep thinking about the thing you shouldn't be thinking about. This suppression can lead to genuine psychological problems such as OCD or anxiety. So, if you're trying to push down those thoughts about romancing a chimp or drinking the contents of your grandfather's urn, then don't, because you're more likely to do them if you don't let this imaginary scenario play out, however gruesome it may be. Oh, and speaking of gruesome scenarios, imagine a delightful family dinner with a big silver platter in the middle of the table.
"What are we having, Mom?"
"It's a surprise," she says. And she's not kidding, because upon lifting the lid, you see the slow-roasted thighs of a human male, lovingly garnished with rosemary. You can find out how this situation unfolds in our bonus video, Creepy Things That Happen When You Eat Human Flesh, which you can watch on our Patreon page at patreon.com/Strange Mysteries. This can be accessed by becoming a Patreon and signing up for bonus video access at $2 per month, which also allows you to help us decide what videos to make, find out which topics are in the pipeline, and ask the Strange Mysteries team any questions you might have about our work, our lives, or our checkered sexual past. Patreon has become necessary since, amidst the chaos of advertisers ditching YouTube due to a few nasty videos, creators like us are having our arms twisted to make ad-friendly content. But we'd rather make videos about the things that interest you, and our ability to do this relies on you. For $2 a month, we can provide awesome bonus content for each video. And eventually, with your support, we can go fully ad-free and dedicate our full videos to just the juiciest ideas packed full of the most mind-blowing content we can find. Our Patreon page can be found at this link here, in the upper right with the exclamation mark circle, description box. Or you can visit patreon.com/Strange Mysteries and sign up there. If you don't want to donate, then it's cool, we still love you, and we'll continue to provide the best content we can under YouTube's restrictions, as you'll see if you watch our recent video on 5 things that can't kill you.